Alright, so for my senior project, I'm doing everyday science in everyday life. So it's figuring out science in your daily life and trying to learn what that is. And I think there's a lot of science in water, and you guys use water all the time.
Really?
Yeah, like you use it to wash yourself, and you drink water, so that's pretty important. So yeah, and water is the only thing that life needs to survive. There's animals that don't need air to live, and they say water is like the basic of life. So yeah, we're gonna get started here. Water is cool. Oh, and also Bob wanted me to do one of these kind of crossover things with science and the classes that you guys are in. And I guess chemistry is one of the easiest things that could cross over with science because chemistry is science, but English is going to be a little hard to do. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I got one for you. I'll talk louder.
Alright, so since you guys are learning about molecules and all that, I thought it would be a good idea to show you the water component of the water molecule component. It's called H2O, and it's chemically called, like the official chemical term is called dihydrogen monoxide. And people make these banned dihydrogen monoxide, the invisible killer, and they make like petition signs, and they go out to like college campuses, and they get like 500 or like 1,000 signs to ban water. This is really funny. So if you guys, one day, if somebody comes up to you and say, let's ban dihydrogen monoxide, say no.
It's like,
And also, yeah, and also water is
Dominant.
made out of 1 oxygen and 2 hydrogen, and that's going to be very important for anything like ice and density and surface tension and all that. Alright, so like I said, the formation of the molecules of the water, since there's 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen, the 2 hydrogens bond with each other whenever it's becoming an ice. So whenever it's an ice, whenever it's becoming an ice, they expand in space, like they become bigger, they take up more space than they were supposed to in water. So that's why you never put a glass of water into the freezer, because the glass is gonna break, because it can't hold that much water whenever it's expanding into like ice and all that. And so most of the ice trays that you see are made out of rubber or plastic, so that they can expand with it and not break. So that's a cool thing that you learned out of. I don't know.
are we gonna have a test on this?
Yes.
Alright.
Did you get everything?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, so one of the cool things about water is its density. It says 997 kilograms per meter cubed, but you can just say it's 1,000 because it gets closer to 1,000 as it gets closer to 4 degrees Celsius, not 4 degrees Fahrenheit, whatever you guys use. That's like close to freezing, but it's cold. It's like a really cold day, but it's not like super cold. So if it's 4 degrees, water is like, it's like that's the best water that you can taste.
Scientific term?
Yes, scientific term for the water is good to drink.
Maybe hitting different.
What happens if you get even colder? Go down to 0.
So as it goes down to 0, the density gets the density gets smaller and smaller. So as it gets to closer and closer to 0, it freezes, obviously, and it becomes ice. And because the density gets smaller, you can drop it on water and it will float like that, because the density is less than the water that's surrounding it. And that's really important because lakes that are freezing over, they want to freeze on top, because the fishies on the bottom wants the ice to be on top. They don't want it to be on the bottom because they're not going to have space to live. So it's very important for the density to be like that, which is really cool, right?
Yeah.
Like, God was like, you know, I'm gonna make water, but then, you know, I'm gonna change the density up and all that, and then fishies can live. You know, it's really cool.
Gotta keep them coy.
Alright, so surface tension. This is one of the things that you guys are gonna have to do. So, this is like the chemical bounds that water has. So it looks like that when you look really, really close into it. Not like that, but you know, it'll be close to that. And the reason why there's surface tension is because of these chemical bonds, not bounds, bonds that they have, and then they drag into each other, and surface tension is the reason why whenever you drop a little bit of water on a table or wherever, it forms around, it's curved, it's like around, it's like the moon, like a half moon, because it's trying to take up as like at least space, surface area as it can, and the least surface area in any kind of form is a sphere. Yeah. Why am I having difficulties talking? And yeah, so that's cool, and that's the reason why bubbles are also sphere, because they also want to take as least surface area as they want to. And that's the reason why these guys can float around water. They use the surface tension from the top of the water to glide around water and be on their merry way, you know? And you guys are gonna have to do this in a few minutes, and I'm not gonna tell you guys how to do it, but the density of the paper clip is a lot more than the density of water, even if it's like warmer here. I don't think that would affect it, but it's a lot more. And so you're not gonna be able to just plop it on the water and be like, oh, it floats, oh my goodness. You're gonna have to do something with it so that it floats. Yeah, this was supposed to be coffee, but then I changed it to this because I don't have that much coffee for you guys. So,
Alright.
yeah, and my whole house is getting rented out this weekend, so they kicked me out. So I didn't have coffee. But one of the cool things about these coffee rings is whenever you drop coffee, well, spill coffee, not drop it. Whenever you spill coffee on a table or something, they leave this like ring of coffee as it dries up. And the reason for that is surface tension, because they're bound up in this edge of the water droplet. So all the coffee that's in the coffee, I'm just looking at you because you're like attentive, man. And it all dries up to the edge as it evaporates. And then it evaporates and then all the coffee's in the edge. It's pretty cool, you know? Surface tension in everyday life, you know? So, whenever you spill coffee, don't clean it up. Just look at it. Just look at it. And then, this is a YouTube video, but then it's like 10 minutes long, and I found a very short clip about water, but then I don't know if I can find it.
Well, while they try to float their paper clips.
Oh yeah, okay, that can work out, yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna give you guys water. You guys wanna fill it up to the top? And then you guys are gonna have to try to float it. I'll give you 2 paper clips. Float one.
Wait, don't you have to like make it like a little bit wider so that it like
Well, that's something that you guys.
Am I allowed to work with you guys?
Yes.
No, you're not allowed.
John, I need milk.
Just kidding.
So,
wait,
What?
And then you
just
the entire paper.
yeah.
Wait, do we get 2 or do we get 1?
He was such a fun science, fill that up and then pass
You can do it with
pass
two.
the.
John, I think you should be a science teacher.
Oh, sorry.
I don't think that should be a teacher. I'm not very good at teaching.
It is hard to be up front, is it?
What? Oh
Wait,
yeah.
do you want us to?
We have water.
Jug.
Alright, you guys are gonna try to.
What, should I fill the cup up?
It would help if you try to fill it up, but don't like fill it up so close to the burn that it's okay. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Right there.
Hey, can we have the water?
Don't drink it. That's tap. Okay.
That's toxic.
Tap.
That's tap water.
I love tap water.
Here, I'm gonna film us.
I'm gonna be on camera.
Okay, so
It's all bubbly.
Quick, throw it out. See if we got that. Alright, so everybody got water. Everybody got paper clips.
Bye.
Alright guys, this is my cup.
Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
Yes. Holy moly, you guys got worms. Jason Bourne. How'd you do it? Did you just drop it?
I said it won't float right away.
You'll float too. Can you do it?
Go fishing.
Changing.
John.
Wait, how far? You have to like spread it out. How far do you have to?
No, you don't have to spread it out.
No.
Oh, nice. Did you already get it?
Can we put it in the freezer for 30 minutes?
You mean the water or the water? With the paper clip on top.
Oh, that'd be so cool. Freeze the paper plate.
You freeze it to the top, it's on top of the water.
is that Luke?
So we just supposed to just accept?
Watch this.
I feel like you need temperature.
better strategy.
Do we like warm it up or?
Their participation.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jack. I took your participation points. I thought they were like. Okay, never mind. I took it from So in water freezes. Alright, so for the next one, I want you guys to top there, it starts to sink back down. As it gets back down, it heats back up, it goes back to the water.
You're supposed to like heat it
Water,
up.
it goes back up.
You're supposed to like heat it up.
Hal's got his whole hand in the water, I love it. Pour some into the other cup and then. Actually, we've got paper towels back there. You guys got it? You guys got it? You guys get it?
We're
You're working on it. There are paper towels in that cabinet. Should anybody need paper towels?
What is it?
Slide it slowly on from the edge of that cup.
You see?
Because it slowly grips it, so you guys want.
You should go film Johnny because I've only done this like once in my life.
The atoms.
Oh, that's smart. There's like ridges on the tables that stop water from coming off.
There you go, there you go.
Can we have that next?
What do you need?
Oh, we're not? Okay.
Everyone do that. I'm gonna be.
I'm just saying.
It's a waste of time.
Yeah, that's like far too big and heavy.
Wow. Are you gotten it yet?
No.
Good work, hon.
I spilled a lot of water though.
I'll give everybody Adams.
Wait.
Let's put these individually. That's what I was gonna do.
Oh, Grace, I love your little microphone thingy. It looks so squishy.
One for each of you.
Thank you.
Come on,
Got
guys.
it.
Adam's forgetting
Yay. I got it.
You got it.
Nope.
It has a bubble.
Like really
Look at
secular.
John,
Define how secular.
water bubbles in it.
it. So we just need
We
this.
took it apart.
How secular?
No.
System.
This isn't.
The only person that says that is Andrew.
Everyone in my red one study hall always said it.
John, remember paper clip the tail bump and then wash it.
Oh, paper towels.
Wait, you have one of your foot on the top.
No, I don't.
Yeah, but.
Does this look like a paper clip to you?
Alright, so these guys need a little tip. I think everybody's got it at this table.
Wow, we already got
You
it.
got it?
Oh,
I
yeah.
did not know you got it.
We are the first group.
Did you get it? Oh, we got
They
it.
got it first.
Oh, yeah, and you didn't.
They got it first. They had
Oh,
it like.
they had it a while ago.
Yeah, they had it a while ago. It's just I mean,
Here.
they moved. They like.
Ace,
This is what you get for trying to clean up.
I should have got two.
You should get two for putting up with him. I agree.
Why don't you just
Jen.
pour it in?
I agree.
Mrs. Jester.
Yes.
Yeah, you-
Oh,
Finish what he's doing.
that was sad.
Maddie, is that your shirt? Yeah.
All right. Jung's got his video.
I don't know if this. Wait, I got.
I don't actually know if this is the
Oh, I don't have a speaker. I don't have, you have to plug the speakers in. Yeah, but you have to plug it in, I'm sure.
Should I just?
Wait, I don't think Johnny, I don't have to plug the speaker in. Just gotta plug it in on the HDMI, right?
Got it.
That should work, right?
Just louder. The sound has never been here. I don't know how to make the sound right. Johnny, do you know how to get the sound running on this?
Is it not working?
No, like nothing's coming up. You have to, because you have to connect this to the speaker. I just don't know which wire it is.
Oh, can I do like a little quick explanation before putting
Yes.
this?
Yeah, while he's working on that, you can talk. All right, guys, listen to Jung.
So, this video is about, it's a little bit about water and all the water we have on planet Earth right now. And it's really interesting because the amount of drinkable water that we have in this world, like fresh drinkable water that we have, is scary. And after watching this, you'll probably save your water.
You might have sound.
Yeah, I don't think we have. Stop playing it. It's like giving it away, man.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, there you go. That
You might
doesn't
just have
matter.
to narrate the video.
You turn on the subtitles.
You just unplug. Yeah. I don't know how to.
We need Dylan.
We do need Dylan, and Dylan's not here.
What?
Dylan's gonna miss
I
3
don't know
weeks
if like
and
everybody
then
can hear that.
while he's on tour with
He's
Bush.
already
come
is like
closer.
not here.
How is he gonna like do that?
I don't
How's he
know.
gonna pass the
It's
school?
very hard to miss 3 weeks.
Yeah, and like.
Just sit around like a quarter.
That's what we did in English.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Ava, where did you go for?
Could we plug these speakers? Like,
Yeah,
Every day.
like,
I was
yeah.
gonna say, like, can we plug this speaker?
The month of
into-
February, you were like
on
gone the
the
whole
TV
there
and
for
plug it into the
3
computer?
days.
Yeah, you
Or
were gone
that
like the whole
speaker.
time.
What happened?
Because I remember you came back for that one day,
That one
and then you like were gone for another week.
Yeah, because I tried and then it just didn't work.
I'm out of.
Extend your arms.
It's not gonna work.
No freaking way.
She was just sick.
We don't know so much.
But some
Like,
Oh my goodness, that's
change
amazing.
drastically.
Johnny, that's amazing. Wait, let me go back
And
to
also
the
what
voice.
I did,
You didn't do anything, yes you did.
I think you did it.
No, you figured out which wires to mess with.
November.
Alright.
I hate techie stuff.
All the water on Earth has about this volume compared to Earth. Today, the surface of Earth is 71% water and 29% land. 97.5% is saline water, while only 2.5% is fresh water.